Welcome to this video of how to draw a character drawing of Cleopatra. I hope this can help you relax and give you a bit of a break from all the hard work you've been doing. But before we start, there are a couple things we need to go over. First, I just want everyone to bear in mind that we are all different and unique. So don't worry if yours doesn't look exactly like mine. That's just your own style and like your own way of doing things. Second, this is a character drawing, so it doesn't look like a realistic face. Like if you see the eyes are a lot bigger than what realistic eyes would look like. And then there's some features which are a lot smaller than what they would look like. So the nose and other stuff are a lot smaller. So don't worry if it looks a bit weird when you're drawing it, it'll all come together in the end. So all you're going to need is a pencil, a rubber, and just some colouring pencils to colour this all in the end. First, we're just going to faintly draw a circle. Your pencil should only lightly be touching the page because we will later rub out these lines, so try keep them pretty faint. Here I'm just showing how much space I have below and above the circle, so you know roughly where to position it. Next, I'm just faintly drawing a line down the middle of the circle, and then also I'm drawing a curved line halfway between about the middle and bottom of the circle. Again, keeping these pretty faint because we will rub them out later. Now for the eyes. Starting from that curved line we drew in our circle, you're going to want to draw a pretty diagonal line that goes up about an inch or so before rounding off into a little flick, and that's okay if that goes out the circle. You're then going to want to draw a second line that comes down from about the end of that line and kind of just drops down a bit and then connects to the front of the eye. It almost looks a bit like a slanted lemon. Then I'm just going to go over these lines a couple more times just to darken them. Then you're just going to want to draw another faint curved line that goes just above the eye so we can match the other eye evenly. Now we're just going to mirror the first eye from our middle line so we can get a pretty similar looking one on the other side. Keep an eye on how far away you drew the first eye from the middle line and try and match that when drawing the second eye. It's helpful to keep looking back to the first eye you've drawn and trying to get something similar on the other side. So trying to get that same slanted lemon shape, but it's just going in the other direction. Once I'm happy that the eyes are relatively even, I'm just going to go back to the first eye and go over the top line of the eye and just gradually build it up and thicken it so that I've got a nice eyeliner sort of shape that Cleopatra is normally pictured wearing. And then I'm just going to do the same to the bottom line of the eye, just going over it and thickening it. And then just do the same on the other eye. Then we're going to draw an oval slash circle that starts at the top line and then comes down to the bottom line, touches that, then goes back up and is sort of cut off by the top line of the eye. For the right eye, you're going to want to keep that circle a bit more to the left, and then for the left eye, you're going to want to keep that circle a bit more to the right. You can then go ahead and darken these lines. Then we're going to draw an even smaller circle in the top right hand corner of the circle you drew in the eye, and you're going to do that for both eyes. Now we're moving on to the nose, and you're going to want to position that just above the bottom of the circle along the middle line. First, you'll need to draw a bit of a wide V shape, and then you're just going to connect the top together with a line that has a bit of a curve on it. Then in a circular motion, as I'm showing, you're going to want to lightly shade in the nose You're aiming to get a bit of an oval shape around the nose and then point that up a little bit. And it's okay if this looks a little bit messy, it's kind of the idea. Then we're going to add 2 dots on the left and right points of the nose. And then kind of add like brackets around those. You can then go ahead and darken those bracket lines, and then you can fill in the shading so that it just fills out the nose. Then we're moving on to the lips. You're going to want to position that about a finger space below the nose, depending on the size of your finger. And then you're going to want to do the same thing we did for the nose, that circular motion where we lightly touch the page and kind of just shade out a rough oval shape. You're looking to draw a shape that is a bit bigger than the nose, but not longer than the distance between the eyes. Then we're going to draw a smaller V shape in the middle of that oval shape you just shaded in. And then on the end of each of the lines, you're going to draw another line that curves upwards until it reaches about the end of where the lips would be. Now I'm just going in with a bit of extra detail to really define the lip shape, especially paying attention to just the bottom and the top of the lip. Then I'm just going to sketch whereabouts the chin is going to come, and that's about roughly a finger space below the lips. I'm just going to do a small curved line to mark that. On the sides of the big circle we first drew, I'm just going to draw lines that come in towards the face and stop about in line with the lips. Then we're just going to connect those lines to the chin. Once you're happy with the structure of the face, you can then go ahead and darken the lines we just drew for the face structure. Roughly around the bottom of the eye, on the side of the head, we're going to draw the ears. As this is a character drawing, the ears aren't very realistic and they just consist of 4 pretty straight, blunt lines that kind of create a shape that connects back to the head, and we're going to call that ears. Now you can either use a ruler or just wing it like I kind of have, but we're just going to line up where we drew our first ear and mark it up on the other side so that we know where to start and finish the ear, so it's roughly equal to the other ear we've just drawn. Now you don't have to do this, but I do like to draw a little line along the middle line for the nose, and then you can just go ahead and rub out all the guidelines that are in the way of the face. Now the eyebrows are optional because they will just be covered by Cleopatra's fringe anyways, but if you do want to draw them, I'm basically just drawing the eyebrow hairs and then building them up to form an eyebrow shape. And then I'm just doing the same on the other side. Now we're just going to quickly mark out where we'd like the neck to go, and I'm thinking just a bit bigger than the chin, and then we're just going to slightly curve the line down on both sides. Then at the bottom of those, just follow them along and curve them at the end to form the shoulders. Now for Cleopatra's fringe, we just need to mark where the bottom of that will go, and I'm thinking just a bit above the eyes. And then we're going to use the top of our circle to follow along the line and then just stop a bit before the middle to form an outline of our fringe. Right now our Cleopatra is looking like she's got a bit of a mushroom hat on. So we just need to go ahead and draw in some isosceles triangles across the forehead to kind of show where the hair would sort of fall. For the fringe, you can then go ahead and add a bit more detail by just drawing longer lines for the gaps you have just drawn. Then a couple of centimeters above where the top of our fringe is, we're just going to sketch out a curved line, and that's just going to show where the top of the head's going to go. Then if we move just a bit further down the page, just above Cleopatra's shoulders, we're just going to draw where the bottom of her hair will come to. You kind of want to draw this line so it's just a bit further out from the ears. Then we just need to draw a line that connects the marking we made at the top to the line we drew at the bottom for the base of her hair. Around the top of her hair, this line should be a bit curved, but then when it reaches around her ears, it should go straight down to where the bottom of her hair is. And then you just do the same on the other side. Once you're happy with the outline you gave yourself for the edge of her hair, you can then go ahead and darken this. When you've reached the bottom of the hair, we're then going to add in some beads. So what you want to do is just go across the bottom of her hair a little bit and then draw a line that goes up, so you've kind of made a bit of a cylinder without a top on it. From there, you're going to want to draw a curved line around that little cylinder you've drawn, and then draw a line across it and another curved line along the side, and then join that again at the top with another line, if that makes sense. And then you can just rub out the lines in the middle because you wouldn't see that behind the beads. I'll be drawing a few more of these beads, so if you haven't quite got the hang of it, just keep an eye out for how I've drawn it. Feel free to add in a few more beads wherever you would like. Then once you've done that, you can continue darkening the outline of the hair. And then you can also darken the lines on the outline of the body too. Now I'm just going ahead and colouring it in and just adding a bit of detail like some jewellery she might have worn. But this is where you guys could really make it into your own and use your own styles. You guys could add more detail, you could add more jewellery, more beads in her hair, or whatever you'd like to do. If you want to colour it in, you can go ahead and do that. I'm sure you guys can do a better colouring job than I did. For those of you who may be following along at home, feel free to send in pictures of what you've created because we'd all love to see your amazing artwork. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed it.